everybody, and welcome to Techegy Podcasts. So, this is Play or Nay, where we talk about games that are notoriously bad. Um, but are they really as bad as their reputation? Well, we play the game so you don't have to. And today, we're playing a very special game, one that requires you to saddle up because there's nothing like a weekend of horseback riding. Look out, nature. Here we come.
Woo!
It's Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue on the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and I think there was some kind of version of it on the GameCube. On this episode of Techegy Podcast, Play or Nay.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
That was really cringe, and I know in my head that it was going to be cringe, and I still did it.
That's okay, Wilbur.
Yeah. So here we are. So I have a physical copy. Of course I do.
Which a long time ago was actually worth something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I paid about $15 for it.
Yeah, but when that game came out, they didn't make a lot of copies of it, and it was going for $40-$50 up on eBay at one point.
So I mean, theoretically, at some point in time, I could have the only copy, depending on what happens with the rest of them. I will put this in a safe at a bank, in a vault at the bank. So,
with the rest of your Barbie collection,
what do you cowpoke think about this game?
You need a pink hat.
You need a pink hat.
Well, this really isn't even a cowboy.
Or you need to paint your nails. I mean, some people say if you paint your nails, the reviews get more likes.
I could see that. I did not though. No
okay.
Yeah.
No.
Dang. MC normally does have some nice painted nails, but he just didn't do it tonight.
No.
I moose my nose hairs. Is that close enough?
I look more like somebody at a Jimmy Buffett concert. Anyways, I'll go first since I think I normally don't go first, and no. I have the physical copy here. So my experience, I didn't really keep track of how long I played. When it first came in the mail a few weeks ago, I think I messaged you guys and I'm like, guess what I'm playing? Barbie Horse Adventures. I've had it for I don't know, 3 weeks. Popped it in my Xbox. Okay. Goes in. Doesn't work. First time I put it in, it didn't work. So I took it out and I'm looking at the disc and I'm like, the disc is fine. Like, it's not all scratched up or anything. So what's the deal? Tried it again. Didn't work. Still wasn't working. So, I'm starting to think, oh, I better contact the seller on eBay and, figure out what's going on. Popped it in the third time. Worked. Haven't had a problem with it since. Don't know. It was like cursed the first 2 times. And I was starting to think that maybe something was wrong with the disc reader on my Xbox, but I switched through a bunch of other different games just to make sure they were all loading up and playing totally fine. But anyways, Barbie Horse Adventures. Oh, what are my favorite things about the game? I like the music in the game. It was very soothing, except for it gets interrupted by the most annoying bird sounds of almost any video. So I played a lot of it's like every second there's something screeching at you. And then on top of that,
it's like being married.
On top of that, there's some tutorial lady talking real loud, or Barbie's talking the whole time. Nobody shuts up that entire game. There's always somebody talking. There's always a bird screeching in your ear. And then you're walking around at the beginning. The main point of this game is to collect coins and, of course, to rescue the wild horses. Now, why are we rescuing wild horses? Wild horses are wild. They don't need rescued. They live in the wild. And that's not even really the case, because when the story at the beginning of the game, when these Barbie girls are driving in their Jeep to this horse place to do whatever nature things that they think they're doing there. I don't know what their plan was. There was a big storm the first night and all the horses got loose. And now the horses are technically loose, but they're not wild.
I think they were captured wild horses that got loose, John.
Well, horses are wild until they're tamed, but then they're not.
But they didn't tame them. What they did was they brought them in and put them in a corral, and then they got loose.
That's what I gathered too.
That's what I gathered.
All right, but So the horses get loose because there's a storm, okay? And this lady's like, "Yeah, I can't do anything. Can you girls
Oh yeah,
help?"
we can't do it.
I can't do it. So
Not like Bob the Builder. Yes,
your
we can.
objective, yeah, Bob the Builder would fix that. Would have had that fence fixed that
We had
night
that
during the
fixed fence,
storm.
or Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
It wouldn't have been hard, but the so the horses get loose. This lady needs your help. You go out. You're collecting coins. I don't remember. Is there a reason they tell you that you're collecting the coins, or
I don't get the coin thing.
Well,
But you buy dresses and stuff with it, isn't it? You can
You
buy
do.
dresses and
and you
outfits.
can also change the way your horse looks. You can buy
Yeah.
like outfit, like different saddles and stuff for your horse. So there's kind of like a little aspect of the game, but then like your clothing and the way things look, you can change.
Yeah, you can customize all kind of stuff with the coins you collect.
And it's not the deepest customization, but you can change just about any part of, aside from like facial features and stuff like that. You can change pretty much anything. I don't remember being able to do that. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on that section. I just wanted to get in and play. So here's my take on the gameplay. It's boring. As an adult 33-year-old male playing Barbie
Single male.
Adventures.
Single male.
Probably. The gameplay is boring. There's not really a whole lot of depth to it. You just go on linear straight lines for the most part. Every once in a while you have to move a tree, or what was the thing? Watch out for the porcupine.
The porcupine. Yes.
Porcupine.
Yeah, they did use a hedgehog because he was trademarked.
But John, this is aimed at like 12-year-old girls.
I was getting
Right.
there.
Which I thought was, you know.
I'm getting there. So then, like, there's like a bee's nest or something on a tree. It's like, watch out for the bee's nest. Don't hit the tree with your horse.
Wouldn't want to do that.
You collect that. Obviously you save the horses, the little baby horses, and you move obstacles out of the way, like a fallen tree or like a broken gate or whatever. So that's pretty much the whole game. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So complaint number, aside from that, next complaint, the camera is, and this is not just this game. There are a lot of games that when this early 3D stuff going on is, for some reason, people could not figure out how to program that camera. Like, it just was always messed up. And it's not very good in this one either. Sometimes it would slingshot on me when I was trying to like turn the horse. Speaking of turning the horse, you can't it's completely robotic, the horse's movement. Whenever you need to do something, you have to like back the horse up in a straight line and then stop and turn it and then move it again, unnatural, like a horse. I felt like at certain times when I was backing up, you needed like a meh, 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 or should I say nay, nay, nay.
I was waiting for that.
So my favorite thing about the game, I think I said already, was the music. My least favorite thing about the game was the gameplay itself as a 33-year-old adult male. Now, the graphics are pretty bad too. I mean, I know the era of the game, but if you look at some of like the stuff, it's just like, it looks like stuff from like the N64 that was pulled up and used. Like, some of the textures are just really bad. And I think they did okay with Barbie. She looks kind of frail and skinny, but again, I mean, Barbie is a human in this game, but is actually a plastic doll in real life. So I don't know, she has like bulimia or something in this game. Just Barbie Horse Adventures. She's out and she eats a hamburger and then makes herself puke afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So as a 33-year-old adult male, I wouldn't play it. I don't know how much time I played it. I'm glad I did play it though. Because there's nothing more than I've ever wanted to do than rescue wild horses as Barbie. Thank you, Vivendi Universal Software, for that. Now, if I was a young girl, between like 5 and maybe 13, I could see up to 13, so a girl playing this, then I'd be like, yeah, like, this is a good game. for someone in that sociological slot. And I do think, not saying that girls just play Barbie games, because that's not true. But this is your stereotypical young girl video game. And I mean, Universal, published this game. This was this isn't just some like $2
No,
game.
they advertised it. There's advertising for this game. They actually put TV advertising for it.
Yeah. So my opinion on whether
Your opinion.
what would I personally do? So for me, Barbie Horse Adventures is a big nay. Now, if I was a young girl, I could see it being a play. But I would not recommend anyone going out and buying this. If you want to download and try it yourself somewhere in an emulator, I'm not condoning that, but if that's what you want to do, more power to you. But I wouldn't spend money on it, especially because like I got this for $15, but it was one of the very few that were under 20, and then it kind of goes up from there. And I think the PS2 version was like floating around like 40, and I don't even know about the GameCube or like the PC physical copies. So, anyways, that's JC.
It gave you something to horse around with.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Did sure
yeah,
did.
I should have said nope. That was bad.
Sure did. Well, you know what, MM, you can go buck yourself.
So we went down there.
All right,
go get your nails painted.
Yes. So, anyways, what did you Cowboys think about it?
Well, I didn't get the beginning of it. Because I muted it at one point. I just couldn't bring myself to listen to some of the dialogues. The dialogue was just absolutely god awful, and which was sad because the music. I agree with you. The music is actually really good. My impression of the game when I was first playing it was like somebody took a Sonic the 3D game and tried to put a Disney spin on it and make it all happy and stuff with the bad what was it, that Sonic game that came out for the 360 with the really bad camera angles. That's kind of what this thing reminded me of, because like all of a sudden you went through a huge tutorial, and this thing was customization hell. I mean, you could customize your Barbie, you could customize your horse, there was all kinds of stuff in there, which I guess that's what you do if you have Barbie dolls. You customize them. I know you're not as old as MC and I, but back in the day we had our GI Joes and we'd customize them, give them grenades, give them guns, this stuff. They were a real American hero back then. You'd give them all kinds of stuff. So I kind of get the customization thing. But like I said, I thought the music was decent. I don't know if I agree with you on the graphics. I thought for the time, the graphics were not that bad. They weren't great. I'm not saying they were,
they were on par for that era.
Yeah, for that era, I mean, they were just
go back and look at the textures on like this, even on some of the stuff on the horse is way below what other games would have done at that time.
I played the PS2 version and I didn't see it as a problem. I thought it all looked good.
I didn't say it was a problem. I'm just saying it's very.
I mean, it was right on par with all the other PS2 games.
That's what I thought. I mean, it looked like a PS2 game. It absolutely looked, even on the Xbox, it looked like a PS2 game.
Disagree, as well as did other people who reviewed it, but keep going.
But Mike agrees with me, and it's 2 out of 3 on this one. So
yeah, but this isn't a democracy.
But I mean, I got bored of it pretty fast. Obviously, I mean, I can tell you that it wasn't a game we had. It was the right era for for how old my son was. But that really, again, the key word there is son. This game wasn't targeted for little boys back then, but it was those days it was Shrek probably. But I could see there was a guy at my office that put out a desperate plea because his daughter had damaged the disc. Yeah, he was like, we can't play BHA. Does anybody have a copy of it? Can anybody do anything? I ended up resurfacing it for him. But little girls at the time apparently liked the game. So, it was getting its audience. And again, I was surprised to see the advertising. We didn't really watch much cartoons, the kind of cartoons that would have, or, shows that would have been on at the time. But I mean, I found advertising for it. So, given its era, given its time, going back to 2000, I think it was 2002, it came out. If I had a little girl that was 5 or 6, I would give the game a thumbs up. I had a boy. I give the game a thumbs down even at that point, because it wasn't a game that he's going to be that interested in, and especially when you have a Crash Bandicoot, a Sonic the Hedgehog, games that deliver better on the coin collecting and the enemies. So as that kind of game, I didn't care for it. I really didn't care for it. So I'd give it a thumbs down. Playing it as a 57-year-old, male, even with beer, I'd give it a thumbs down. I didn't find it very entertaining. It was nostalgic because of the graphics. We disagree on the graphics. I thought the graphics looked pretty good for its time. I mean, not pretty good, but they looked the way other games looked at the time. So, MC, what did you think? I mean, I'm giving it a thumbs down as well, unless you had a daughter, and this was 2002.
Well, this is what it was shooting for, girls. It wasn't shooting for adults. It wasn't shooting for boys. And at this era in time, the one I played, the PS2 version, I thought everything was on par with all the other games of that, era. There is some issues with if you pass up like a trail and you try to back up. Backing up backs up real slow, and it is kind of hard to turn. But it wasn't god awful. I mean, I thought some of the other games we played were worse. I thought Shrek and some of the other ones had worse camera than this one. I mean, I thought the music was good. I thought the gameplay was repetitive, but it was what girls want. You go around, you're going and capturing little horsies, and you're taking them back to their to the girl that puts them back in the corral. And you can change your outfit. The more coins you get, the more outfits you can have, the more you can change your horse, the better you can improve things. I mean, there is a little thing where you got to go under some logs where it's kind of tough. You kind of hit your head, and you can't get under that kind of stuff. But no different than any other game of that era. I mean, if you're an adult my age, I don't know why you'd even think about playing it, but it isn't like a horrible game. I mean, it's that era of game. If that's what you like. I mean, it is very repetitive, but that's all I can complain about. I think it's a good game. I think girls would love that game because you can go and change all your clothes and put different hats on and make your horse look pretty and all that. I think it's great for little girls. I give it a thumbs up. I think it's good. I mean, it's not something I would play, not something I would buy, but for kids of that age, I think that's what girls would want. And I'm sure it's probably a 75 or 80 game at that time. I mean, I don't know, but it should have been. I mean,
got a 4 out of 10 from most reviewers at the time.
Who's rating this, adults or children?
It was well, of course it was adults, yes.
Well, okay, ask the children. Don't ask adults. Adults aren't going to like a children's game.
No, I agree. So you said you went and purchased it, but I did. So.
Well, the only reason I wouldn't is because what am I going to do with it? I mean,
as a collector, are you sure you wouldn't want it for your collection?
No, I'm not that type of collector. I collect the games I like to play. I don't care about games that are just so I can fill my total collection. I'm not that kind of collector. I'm a collector of playing fun games. I mean, if I was 13, definitely I'd be collecting this game. At my age, I'm not going to be collecting this game. But I think they did a half decent job. I don't know why it did. I don't know if it sold well or not, but it probably should have for little girls. Now, boys aren't going to buy. What do boys want to put dresses on and stuff like that? I mean, maybe some do, but I'm just saying most boys aren't going to probably buy it. Some probably did, but I'm just saying it's for girls. It has a target audience. I'm sure the girls liked it.
Well, so wait a minute.
So what people should do is take a survey of 13-year-old girls, not a survey of adults and and people in the media.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys can see that or not, but apparently this is 2 players.
What?
It won the
You
2
could have played
players.
on, was it Xbox Live?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's local, but it says players 1 to 2.
Well, I don't see why you couldn't have another Barbie with a horse.
Well, what's it do? Split the screen and you're both.
I would assume it would split the screen either up and down or
Well,
left.
maybe
I
one
would
person's the horse and one person's Barbie.
We'll provide an update because now I need to know.
Yeah,
I
didn't even know that. I should look into it.
I didn't own it.
But I'm giving it a thumbs up for little girls. You know, and if you like repetitive games where you collect coins and like Mario and you ride a horse, hey, that's all up your alley then.
Yeah.
I
If
don't
it
know
had achievements, I would have finished it.
I would say it's probably not a long game. I mean, I didn't finish the game, but from what John tells me, it's not a real long game.
From the other reviews I had read about it, it seems like about an hour and a half if you actually just do the main quest things. Now there's other stuff you can do, but just the main quest itself is about an hour and a half, which, to be honest, a young girl's attention span in 2002 was probably about an hour.
Yeah, but I played it for over 2 hours, and if you go to get every little coin, even the hidden ones and stuff like that, you could extend the game longer than that.
Sure. No, I'm just saying the main story.
I mean, the main story, yeah, you go get how many horses were we supposed to get? I forget. There was a number you were supposed to get.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember the number, but yes, if I just went and got them and took them right back and didn't collect any coins, yeah, I could do that in an hour. But if you're going to go around every trail and pick up every coin, it's probably going to take you a lot longer than that.
So we have 2 thumbs down and a thumbs up. So we all didn't agree on the thumbs up, thumbs down game. But I think there's one thing we can all agree on is that we're all definitely on some kind of list now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially me.
Especially me, since I said I liked it.
Yes.
Especially him, since he actually owns it. You know, there was
Yeah, but John actually owns it. That's right.
John actually owns it.
When FBI kicks down my door to arrest me for owning a copy of BHA, you'll know what it was for.
I think if you had a daughter that's 13 or under, and you have a PlayStation 2 or the original Xbox, you should probably get it for them.
I don't disagree with you on that. I honestly don't disagree.
That's the target group.
Yeah,
I'd say maybe emulate it. Don't pay for it.
Well, you should always be legal and pay the money since it's only $15. But,
Well, somebody already did pay for it, so my opinion is it's already been paid for.
well,
you're paying for it. It'll be on your shelf now for the rest of the
get it in the yard sale or something for cheap. Yeah.
My only thing is, like I had said earlier, is that I got this for $15, but there was only 1 or 2 that were 15, and then it exponentially grew. It like jumped from 15 to like 45.
Yeah, at one point it was an expensive game. I mean,
I would never.
Mine didn't have the
oh man,
the manual.
that really affects the value and playability.
It actually did, because the ones that had the manual were going for like $50.
Well, question for you guys: what was the price of like original Xbox and PS2 games? Was it
either 40 or 50?
Right,
it's $49.99 for the most
I
part.
mean, if it was like $50 when a brand new came out, I don't know if I'd buy it at that price. But if it was discounted in a $20 or so, yeah.
Sam's Club had it at one point for 15, and we were laughing about it until we started seeing them on eBay for like 40 and 50.
The only reason I wouldn't want to pay 50 for it is it's too short of a game. If they'd have made the game a lot longer with a lot more trails, a lot more, then maybe you could pay $50 for it. But it's too short for 50.
If you had a daughter that was into Barbie, and because now at this same time there was like 2 or 3 digitally animated Barbie TV shows on TV as well. So Barbie was pretty popular in the early 2000s and has always been. But at that time there was
She's
like
got a new movie coming out too.
Yeah, but there was a couple shows, and if your daughter wanted this for Christmas and it made her happy and she would spend time playing it, because I'm sure you know how many of these young girls were going in and just doing the like customization stuff, like that probably took up a whole lot of time, because that's why The Sims was popular, because you could do all the customization and build the houses. Now, I'm not comparing this to The Sims, but and now it's 2 players, so now she can have a friend.
Now it's 2. Now we know that it's 2 players.
I probably spent 20 minutes on it just changing the horse to see what different the horse would look like in the saddle, and the clothes. I probably wasted 20 minutes on that alone.
I mean, you have think about it, you have like an 8-year-old daughter with a friend, another 8-year-old friend that come over. They'd probably play this every time she came over. I'd say it's probably worth $50 at that time.
Well, I'm telling you, 20 minutes, and I didn't even try every outfit and all that stuff. You know, I just tried a bunch of them of each type, the horse, the saddle and the thing, and that wasted at least 20 minutes.
And it talked. And the thing was, is it talked. Oh, that you choose your hat, and I forget how it said it, but everything it talked. I mean, you got to give him credit. Everything it talked, but some of it was like, why?
Here's the thing: there was no game breaking glitches that I saw. I mean,
there wasn't any
ran pretty good.
it.
The only thing it kind of sucked is when you had to back your horse up and turn. And but you could turn forward. Going forward, I never had trouble turning. It's only when you had to go back and turn, then it seemed to be kind of weird. And yes, sometimes you got a few funky camera angles, but that was back then. You always had that trouble.
Well, that porcupine was chasing you.
So,
I was in panic mode because that porcupine was after me.
Well,
he was scary.
It was kind of cool. They threw a few of them things in there, but why a porcupine? I don't know. But you know,
they couldn't get the rights to the hedgehog.
What else would it have been? A guy with a machine gun?
No, they could have threw in a panther or something scary. Well, maybe that would have scared girls. Maybe that would have it would have been too scary.
The ground crack open and hell just come up out. Demons come flying out.
I mean, they could have had a bear. They could have had a bear or something come or something, but that might have scared little girls. So
bear's gonna eat that horse and the girl. Porcupine's not gonna eat them.
No, the porcupine's just gonna split.
Well, that's what I meant. You'd have to go to different trail or stay away from it.
You got like a splinter in your finger for the porcupine.
And then it gets infected and you die.
Yeah, then they could have advertised Neospore and it could have like Shaq Fu and put some product placement in there.
Well, everybody in this game talked except for the horses, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing though. It wasn't like a broken game.
It wasn't a broken game.
And
they accomplished what they wanted
because they're like thinking I'm an adult and I wouldn't like it. Well, it's not for adults,
No. But we do base the show on whether or not we would play it. Not a daughter, not.
No, I'm going for the crowd that would play it. Why would I ever play something like that? I mean,
exactly. That's why it would be
down. You
did play it. Yeah. What are you talking about?
You did
because you guys asked me to rate the game. I'm rating the game on the game's.
You could have
the game's ability, how good it is, not on who's playing it.
You could have said no, I'm not playing this game.
Michael went to South Korea not to have to play it.
Yeah. He left the country.
He left the country.
But he didn't want to play Shaq either. Shaq Fu. So
no, he would have liked this better than Shaq Fu.
Oh boy.
Or did he? Was that Red? What, there was something he said that was worse than Shaq.
I mean, I guess I will say this is better than Shaq Fu just because.
Yeah, this is better than Shaq Fu, but they both have.
Shaq Fu was kind of extremely hard, and there was some glitchy stuff in that too. But
graphics were a little better in Shaq Fu.
Well,
so how did it compare to the Civil War game?
I think it would be if you could combine the two games together and have like Barbie Horse Adventures during the Civil War, where you have to go and recover the horses from downed soldiers on the battlefield. I think that would make a really good game.
I think the only thing wrong with the game is you should have had to do more tasks than just find the horses. You know what I mean? They should have had do something else. Go do some obstacle course or something, or go do something. You know what I mean? Something girls would want to do.
I think the only thing wrong with the game is that we haven't gotten a 4K remake of it on the newer
right. If it's 4K, I'd be buying it. No.
4K, there you go.
I want 60 frames per second on the Xbox One Series X now.
But I wouldn't buy it for $70 because I don't buy any games for $70. Not even now.
Too
expensive.
Well,
we're starting to horse around here a little bit.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's getting time for some happy trails.
Happy tales.
Right.
Any final last words on BHAWWR?
Buy it.
You have an 8-year-old girl. If you have an 8-year-old girl and an old Xbox, buy it.
Below 13-year-old girl, buy it.
I think it's actually compatible with the 360. I think it's on the compatibility list.
I couldn't tell you, but maybe.
I think it actually is. But you
That'd
can.
be funny.
No, I think it is because I think that the guy from my office, that's what he was.
John, you should stick it in a 360, see if it plays.
My 360's
Well,
dead.
your new Xbox it should play in, right? Backward compatible.
Now that would be very interesting to see
if I put this in in my
Xbox-
Series X,
Yeah, stick it in there, see if it'll play.
I'm not doing it right now.
No, we'll talk about it next time. But
Yeah, we'll issue an update.
Yeah, we'll have an update for Barbie's Horse.
It's gonna be like the unsolved mystery updates. I'm gonna be in like a trench coat and come around.
It's on the list. I got the list up. It's on the list.
Is it?
Yes.
yeah, so you can put it in your Xbox One and play it.
Well,
Series X, I mean, Series X.
Now I'm gonna have to do it just because I can.
Yeah. No, it's on the list.
Hey, it might upsample it, make it look better.
It says the bottom half of the screen is not correctly drawn in split screen mode.
That's
so it is split
the
screen
multiplayer.
for two-player.
So you said it's not glitched. It will be.
Oh, you know what? You can't play it over the internet though. You have to be side by side, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if it was multiplayer, John, I'd buy it just so we could play it on the Xbox series.
Somebody looks on your status. What are you playing?
It says Barbie Horse.
That would be hilarious.
Oh man!
Everybody would just delete us off of their friends list.
I remember when there was one beta we were playing. It said "Pimp Set C" for the game we were playing.
Yeah,
I think it was one of the Halos, but it actually said "Pimp Set C" and it said "Yar" after it.
See, now that's what they need to do. Remake us in 4K and make a multiplayer so I can play you, John. And then we can buy it and play.
You scale it.
Vivendi Universal, if whatever company that is now, if you hear this or see this, do it now. And
I think it's Activision now, isn't it?
I think you're
Universal?
right. Yeah, so maybe we'll get it now that the Microsoft merger is happening. Maybe we'll get get it on.
Yeah,
we're gonna get it on Game Pass.
What's the number one game we want to see? No, it's not Call of Duty. It's
Barbie Horse Adventures. What do you mean Diablo 4 on Game Pass? No, we want Barbie Horse Adventures.
Yeah, co-op.
Co-op.
Make it co-op.
Yeah, I want 10 extended.
Make all those outfits. You got to pay for them all separate.
Well, boys, I think it's time we hit the dusty trail.
Happy trails to you.
As we always say here at Techegy Podcast.
Dirty, my friend. Wilbur.
MC kind of missed the boat on that one.
I know, I was way off key.
He missed the horse.
Yeah, he missed the horse, missed the saddle.
I can't do that neigh sound or whatever,